Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. steps onto the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. Just previous day, he had delivered one of his most famous speech, "I've been to the mountaintop."
And tragically, his last. A single shot shattered the silence. One bullet, one fallen leader. And in an instant, America held its breath, then broke apart.
The official story names one man, James Earl Ray. The man who pulled the trigger was caught. But the question that still burns through history is who else was pulling the strings?
Because you don't get that kind of precision. A clean shot, a fast escape, and a manhunt across continents without a little help from the shadows.
Every clue led deeper, to the FBI, the mob, the military.
And maybe the mirror.
This is the story of the hunt and the ghosts behind it. Hellhound on his trail. It all began almost exactly a year earlier. April 23, 1967. Missouri State Penitentiary. Ray, serving 20 years for robbery, crawls into a bread truck and rides it straight out the front gate.
I love that. Dude escapes a maximum security prison using carbs. The man literally loafed his way to freedom.
From there, he zigzagged across the country. First Chicago, then Montreal, Birmingham, Los Angeles. He went to Canada, back to US, and then Mexico. In Mexico, he even tried his hand at being a pornography director. He came back to LA and became interested in presidential campaign of George Wallace.
He used fake names like Eric S. Galt, took odd jobs like taking bartending and dance classes, and even got plastic surgery in Los Angeles to alter his nose and jaw. That's commitment or insanity. What kind of assassin takes dance classes before taking a job?
Commitment. He followed news reports, speeches, marches. He studied King's movements through newspapers and television.
Like some twisted road trip playlist, except every city on it had King's name on the marquee.
In early 1968, King was planning another campaign, the Poor People's March. Ray tracked him to Atlanta, then to Memphis. In between, he went to Birmingham to buy a Remington Game Master rifle with another alias.
He rented a room across from the Lorraine Motel, with a perfect line of sight to King's balcony. The Hellhound had found his scent.
On April 4, 1968, at 6:01 p.m., he fired a single shot from a Remington rifle. The bullet struck King in the jaw. He was rushed to the hospital, however, succumbed to injuries.
And then our hunter ran for his life. Left the rifle, binoculars, fingerprints, and a beer can like calling cards.
He fled Memphis, drove south to Atlanta, wiped his fingerprints from the car, and abandoned it. And then he disappeared.
That's when the manhunt began. Hoover himself ordered every agent on deck. 200 agents, 3 continents, and one very panicked fugitive.
Ray managed to slip through. He traveled on bus to Cincinnati and then to Detroit. Using fake IDs, he crossed the border and made it to Canada.
The man practically lived in photo booths there, testing disguises like a low-budget Bond villain.
He used the alias Ramon George Snade, obtained a passport, and flew to London. From there, Ray went to Lisbon, Portugal, to go to Rhodesia. However, he missed his ship. Fate does play its hand. He came back to London again. He wanted to reach Rhodesia somehow, a white minority-ruled country which had no extradition treaty with USA.
Because, of course, when you assassinate a civil rights leader, you flee to a regime built on racism. The irony writes itself.
But on June 8, 1968, at Heathrow Airport, British police caught him. A sharp-eyed officer noticed that his passport photo looked nothing like the real Snade.
So, after 2 months of running, the Hellhound finally got caught by a British clerk with good eyesight. Bureaucracy 1, assassin 0.
Ray was extradited to the U.S. He confessed in 1969, avoiding a death sentence, but recanted 3 days later.
Classic move. I did it. Then, wait, no, I didn't. He said a mysterious man named Raoul set him up, gave him money, and told him to buy the rifle.
Official investigators said his motive was racial hatred and a desire for fame. He idolized George Wallace, the segregationist governor who once declared segregation forever.
Some think he wanted to be the man who stopped King's chaos. Others think he was chasing a rumored $100,000 bounty offered by white supremacist groups.
Either way, Ray was obsessed. The evidence, maps, cutouts, notes, showed he stalked King for months before the murder.
Like a real-life ghost story. One man chasing a dream he hated so much, it became his reason to live.
But the lone gunman theory never satisfied everyone. The FBI's own history with King raised doubts.
Yeah. The same bureau that once mailed him blackmail letters suddenly turned into the Justice League? Forgive me if I'm skeptical.
Some suspect the Mafia had reason to see King silenced. His influence threatened their business interests.
Then there's the Army intelligence theory. Snipers stationed nearby, watching King. Because apparently, everyone was watching King except the people supposed to protect him.
In 1999, the King family won a civil trial in Memphis. The jury concluded that a conspiracy involving local, state, and federal agencies, along with a bar owner named Lloyd Jowers, was responsible.
That's right. A jury said it was a conspiracy. But since it wasn't criminal court, no one went to prison this time. Bureaucracy won. Justice zero.
Decades later, declassified DOJ files revealed the full extent of surveillance on King. Bugs in hotel rooms, agents infiltrating his meetings, even plans to ruin his marriage.
So yeah, maybe the Bureau didn't pull the trigger, but they sure made sure the gun was loaded.
And new releases in the 2024 and 2025 show federal agents were in Memphis the day King was killed, officially for observation.
Observation, huh? Like the kind where you watch history explode in front of you and then file a report about it.
Still, no direct link to a government order has ever surfaced. The truth remains tangled, half hidden in shadows. Ray spent the rest of his life trying to win a trial. He escaped prison once more in 1977, leading authorities on another chase before being recaptured after 3 days.
Even in a cage, the Hellhound couldn't stop running. Guess he didn't know how to sit still.
He died in 1998, still proclaiming innocence. No Raoul ever found, no clear answers given.
But the chase, the stalking, the obsession, the escape, that's what made him the perfect name for this story.
A hellhound on the hunt, driven by hate, haunted by fear, and forever running from the truth. King's message outlived his killer. His dream didn't die on that balcony, it multiplied. Perhaps both.
And 50-plus years later, the same questions still echo. Who was the Hellhound really? Just a man, or the hate that follows every dreamer? Either way, the hunt goes on, for truth, for justice, for that better world he promised.
Wind speaks low as shadows sleep in the cradle of the hill so deep. A story whispers through the storm.